All right. I was sitting here working on a report that I had to do for the dean and had no idea time had slipped up past 2 o'clock. So let me get the attendance real quick and then we'll get started. Sorry about that, people. Find the paper book down here. I made it to the other sessions early today and then slipped on this one right now. So that happens. So let me flip back over here. So that one was it. So I've actually had another session open, which is why I would have messed things up in our session. Sometimes it wants to goof it up. Yeah, thank you. Let me catch the calendar first. And we're on chapter 4 in here. Actually, I went over chapter 6 in here in 2412, first thing today. Had the wrong book name here because y'all's books all look similar, and somehow I didn't catch the number on the bottom until I got confused. And then I went over the right thing. So, first thing is, as Nicholas just mentioned, I did give you quick labs assignments to do, 2 classes to do in there. Some of you, I know Nicholas definitely, and I'm not sure of Matt or not. Some of you may have taken a class from me last semester that used the quick labs to do the same 2 quick labs. Were you in there too, James, or not? I can't remember. Okay. So if you were, what you need to do is go in the assignment, which actually is on the bottom of the list of the various assignments for the course. And okay, whoever, but if you were in there, then if you would go into the assignment and just type a note in there in the little box there, the text box that goes with it, and tell me that you already did these 2 classes last semester, because there's 2 courses out there that I want you to do at Google Cloud Labs, which is at Quick Labs, which will teach you the basics of cloud, and that's the object of it. And that's definitely related to this class because Windows Server 2016 and Windows Server 2019 both have a definite cloud part to them, and 2019 even gets more cloud oriented than 2016 did, and we're in 16. But cloud is definitely a piece of it in there, and this way you can know a little bit about the cloud. These are courses that actually would normally cost you money, but Jill West got a number of free vouchers, that she could give away and use at something she did last year. And she offered me to be able to use them also in my classes besides her using them in her classes. So they will expire in October, so these things aren't going to last forever. If you're doing the 2 that you need to do for this class, they need to be done by the end of the semester on July the 13th, I believe it is. And I need you to just submit a piece of paper, the screen print of the badges with your name, because they'll actually show you a page with that. But I know she did do it with her repair class in the spring, which was a high school class, because I also had a class with the same students, and so I didn't put it in my class. I was teaching them Cisco 1. And so we offered it in, so she was putting in her class that she was teaching in the spring, and then I did it in several of my classes. If you did the Google Labs in that hardware class in the spring, then let me know, and you don't have to redo those 2 sessions because they're the same ones. Now, the other part is if you want to do some more courses beyond that, and remember her vouchers do expire in October, okay, so they're not unlimited. But if there's some other things you're sitting there looking at out there that you go, ooh, I'd like to take that, but I don't have enough vouchers on it, then let me know, and I will tell her, and she'll add some more credits for you in your account, and you'll be able to take some more stuff. That's no problem at all. We just don't want to put, so we've given you 20 in each person, and that's more than what you need to do the 2 I've told you to do. But also, if by chance you goof up as you're doing them and have to redo some of them, and so you then use up all your credits that are out there, and you need some more credits, let me know, and she'll get you some more credits for that. So we can work around that. As far as where to put the note, and it's also where I want you to turn in, if you do them, the sheet, the print screen showing the badges, is the assignment is actually listed in assignments at the bottom of the assignments entire page. So it's after all the chapters in the book, down at the very bottom. It's on the bottom of the list. At least it should be, and I'm sure it's there, but let me double check just real quick just to make sure. And it's just a regular Dropbox, just like your other Dropboxes. Yeah, because it's called Google Cloud Assignment, and it is down there. So, but if you did them already, then just give me a note that you did them, in my class, or James, if you did those in that class in the spring, if she had you do them, but I think you said you never got to it, so you didn't do them. I'm surprised she didn't go ahead and have you. But if you had, you could give me a note also. But since you didn't, you need to do them. Okay? So make sure you all do those. They will take you a little bit of time. They've got like about 4 or 5 items to do in each one of them, and those will take 15 to 25 minutes a piece to do, because they're going through and having you do this stuff hands-on. The directions are not always the best. I will concede you that. I have done those first 2 courses. Stuff out there in Quick Labs can be relatively good and sometimes not so good. AWS, Amazon Web Services, uses the same thing for some lab courses for them. Some of theirs, they've got better written up than Google Labs does, and some about the same. But they're not, and the other problem is they haven't kept them current with how it changes. So sometimes you got to figure your way around it. But it is a good learning experience for you to get some basics of cloud and to know a little bit about cloud. And server is more and more being done on the cloud. It doesn't, putting it out there on the cloud does not mean the end of server. It's just removing the physical location of the servers. One, a lot of servers are now virtual servers on one physical server. And 2, a lot of that is in turn being moved to the cloud, where those servers are sitting out there as servers sitting on the cloud. They could be physical servers at the different cloud providers, could be the public cloud providers like Google Cloud, AWS, etc., or it could be where people have set up their own private cloud, but quite often done in a cloud type concept also. And it's 2016 and 2019 are actually designed for more cloud oriented. So they're very relevant what you're learning in those two things, and that counts as one lab for you in this class. So it's got relevance to what you're taking in the 24, 12, 13, and 14, which is why I've got them there. Chapter 4 in the book, this week's assignment, is actually going through with group policies and working with them and configuring them. And so you can set up a lot of templates, you can set up a lot of policies that apply to groups in there, and get that all set up in there. So you can set up standard things and then share them with groups and stuff and do a lot with the group policies. So they're introducing to you about the different type group policies, how you're going to set them up, how to set them up to go link back to your users, what you can do with them, and they take you through and have you build those both group policy objects or and your group policy templates, where you set up how they're going to work with it in Active Directory. So it's going to work back linking to your Active Directory on it, but then you'll play with these group policies and try them, and you're going to see there's tons of group policies out there of all kinds of stuff. Are you going to allow this person to log on locally, or can they only log on remotely? Are you going to require them to only be able to log on locally and not remotely? That's one thing. You can set up password rules. You can set up things about where do they back up their files and directories to. Can they change the system time? Can they change the time zone? And y'all think about, those of you that have worked at some different places, they lock those things out at some different places, some of the stuff on it. They're doing it through group policy. So that's what you're learning to do here in Chapter 4. So that's what they're going to take you through, how to set them up, how to check them, how to see how they're working. So they're going to have you go through and also see how you can do scripts to do them on some and to play with them and to do it. And that they show you a few of the group policies of what you can do with them. But notice as you go through them what all you are allowed to do with a group policy, because they can be really interesting on the things that you can learn to do with a group policy. And that you can set up all kinds of general settings and make your job as an administrator of the system a whole lot easier. All right, questions for me on that chapter? Next week we'll meet at the normal time, but I will tell you then when we're going to meet for the remaining sessions, because there's a few little complications getting in the way. That I'm going to be on the road going to a meeting for a week, that I'm not going to be able to do the sessions during the day that week, but I think I'm going to do them early on it, because that'll be a feasibility thing that can work for me. And then we're going to run into the 4th of July holiday in there, and also possibly and me on the road again with another date. So we'll get these in coming on down. If they don't work for you, just remember you got to do the discussion that week. The other part I will tell you is that I did get all of the grading done. I was completely caught up on grading as of Saturday night. I have been staying caught up on grading this semester in my classes. I'm double checking attendance right now. And that as of Saturday night, the only things I had not graded were due tonight or later. Actually, I think everything that I had not graded was due tonight. I prefer not to grade on assignments normally until after they're due, because if you turned in something that's due tonight, yesterday, and then you're listing today, or you're doing something and all of a sudden you go, oops, I goofed up. You can still, as far as I'm concerned, from my classes, you can still correct it today and get it in by tonight, and that you'll get the better grade. Now, if you turn it in after tonight, if it's something you'd already submitted, then it won't get graded. Or if it's something you hadn't submitted and you turned it in after tonight, you'll get a late penalty on it. But I will let people turn something in earlier and then come back and go, oops, I got to fix something, and fix it and turn it in. And that's why I don't like grading until after the due date. So tomorrow, hopefully I can get discussions graded in the morning. I know I got a meeting in the afternoon, a leadership committee meeting, but it's online, so that probably only take about 30 minutes out of my day, and that I've got those going on. But I do know at the end of the week, Thursday afternoon and Friday, I will be off campus though at those times. Thursday evening, I intend to check email. Friday morning, I should be online and doing email and doing other stuff. It's just I won't be on campus. And then that's the way it's going to work there for this week. Next week, I should be, as far as I know, around all week. I think I will be. And that we'll have our session next Monday as scheduled at 2 o'clock, and hopefully I'll be in here at 2 o'clock next Monday, and not be sitting here working on this report, on some report, and suddenly realizing what time it is. All right, any questions for me? Okay. All right, so that's all of y'all. So given that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I do have the previous Collaborate sessions all posted, the grades for them posted in there. So like I say, I was, as of Saturday night, and actually last week, a time or two, I was fully caught up also, and then some more late stuff came in and such, and that I actually got all of that stuff graded Saturday evening. So I'll try to get these Collaborate grades in as soon as I can, maybe today. I haven't taken a break yet today, and I'm still working on a couple of other things sitting here. And I'm starting a class that I was starting, and I need to look at that because I did spend a few minutes this morning on the phone with that school. They had my email messed up, and that we had to get that. I had to call them to fix my email on it, which they did get fixed this morning for it. And I've got a no-show assignment in there due today, I think it is. So that'll be it for it. So y'all have a good week, and I'll talk to you next week.